Any landowner, or if they're going to purchase a piece of property in Northern Sierra, the first and foremost consideration would be the risk of fire. And if you're not willing to address that issue, I don't think you really have any business in acquiring a piece of land. What you do on your property affects not only you, but it's going to affect your neighbors. Plumas County is no stranger to fires. Anybody that has land in the Northern Sierra knows that they're going to have fire somewhere in their locale every year. The 2012 Chips Fire was indeed one of the largest fires in Plumas County history. It just blossomed and it got out of control. We had a 75,000 acre fire. And as it approached our property, which we hoped it would not, but it did, we went through a lot of emotions. It was an emotional roller coaster, no question about it. In my experience, what a management plan has done for me, it's an opportunity to think ahead of what could happen. Because we've invested a lot of resources in the last 8 years doing hazard fuel reduction, when that fire did approach, we were prepared for that. One of the management tools that we have implemented on this particular piece of property is what's called a shaded fuel break. This is probably our #1 strategic tool where we go through and thin out the timber to where we have an adequate spacing, let's say 17 by 17 feet. That's kind of a target that we do. We treat the surface fuels, especially dead material, that's far more combustible. Anything that we feel poses a fuel ladder. We don't eliminate the fuel ladder entirely, we just thin it out, we manage it. Or you could do a broadcast controlled burn. I believe that controlled fire, frequent fire, is the way to go in the Northern Sierra Nevada. So we introduce fire on a yearly basis. The primary objective is to get a flame length less than 3 to 4 feet. If we have done that, fire should come through and the flame lengths go down to the ground to 3 to 4 feet. We feel that we are very successful. Fortunately enough, because of the treatments we have done on our property, when that fire did approach, it did indeed go to the ground and just did an underburn basically. And in some areas it did not, but those are the areas we did not treat because of steepness, areas we couldn't access. The results are staggering to see what the fire did or did not do. You can also go to some of our property lines where their property was not treated. That line of demarcation is indeed stark. The fire went into the crowns and the game is over. It killed the trees. On our side of the property line, you'll see occasional scorch, occasional trees that died. You'll see groups that died, but not the entire timber stand. So we can live with that. I can live with that. Fire is part of the landscape. It has been here, it always will be here, but it's in what form of fire are you willing to accept? Uncontrolled catastrophic fire is unacceptable. That's what we're trying to avoid. My priority right now is fire restoration. You can walk away as a landowner after a fire comes through and do nothing. You can let the standing timber that survived just reforest a natural stand on its own. What you're going to get are mixed results. You're going to get a lot of brush and a few trees poking out. My philosophy is a restoration plan that is aggressive by site prepping the land, following through with a spray regime. That's going to control your competing brush, and then you go in and you plant your trees, and you're going to give these trees a great chance to survive. I bought the property as an investment to make money, first and foremost. But I think anybody that has attached himself or herself to a piece of property, especially in the Northern Sierra where we are, the longer that you're associated with the property, you can't help but fall in love with the intrinsic values of the property. Wildlife, water, just the vegetation itself is just gorgeous. And that's what's happened to me.